This is hard to see.
It looks like with the lights behind us blinking, it looks like we're getting in trouble for something. See, because it kind of looks like goes red there because the brake light in front of us.
Did you ever hear that one joke from Drew Carey?
No.
He goes, I love it when it's like raining and downpouring and like the nasty weather out. That's when I speed. They go, why? He goes, then the cop has to get out and walk to your car. Cop goes, you know how fast? You know why I pulled you over? He goes, you know why I was speeding?
That's terrible. All right, so it is the bye week, and that means that we're not going to have any game to talk about. So we're going any Bills topic you want.
No game?
No game.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. That's up to you guys. Anything you want to hear, drop in the comments of this video below, and we'll make sure to cut an episode for it. You don't have to sign off on it. We're just gonna
watch the video. Speaking of things that aren't fast anymore, even though he did have 100 yards, Shady McCoy. I don't see the breakaway anymore.
No. I mean, Shady was never a pull-away guy, though.
I've seen him have breakaways, man. He has. He has had breakaways. I remember him sprinting down the field with Deshaun Jackson in Philly.
I remember when he came to Buffalo, I looked down and I go, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
I thought the opposite.
Did he look smaller?
I never thought him to him.
I just assumed he was very slender. He's not.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
no.
I just assumed he was
When I
slender.
saw Emmett, though, I saw Emmett at when I was doing the huddle.
Mm-hmm.
I was at 34 Rush, and they were doing all the signings and everything. Emmett is tiny.
Yeah.
He is little.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sorry, Emmett. And if you're a Cowboys fan, then you probably watched the wrong channel. I would say, I think I told somebody about this earlier because they were talking to me, hey, should I start Shady? I know the Bills' offense is bad, but should I start Shady today in fantasy? I go, well, if you look down the timeline, he's always had really good games against the Jets. Since his time in Buffalo, he's always had really good games against the Jets. And
Bowles has been there the whole time.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Is it one of those things where he just has success playing against? Because I remember the Christmas game on Thursday night when they played. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bills are all in red. Jets are all in green.
Yeah.
It's like if you were colorblind watching.
Yeah. If you were red-green colorblind, you were in trouble.
You didn't even know you were Nathan Peterman. But I remember him having a really good game that game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a limited sample size. I always thought that he played well against the Jets. I said, all right, start him. Go ahead. I didn't think he was going to have 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. But, like, would you want to just focus on the speed of him? Or does he look slow? You said he ran heavy during post-game.
Yeah, so he didn't, like, he was a single cut back when he got to the gap today. But she hasn't been all season, right? He was a 1 cut back to the gap. So he'd get there and go. Like, it was like the absence of Chris Ivory. He said, I just have to fill this role today.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So, like, you're not going to lean on Marcus Murphy to give you the inside presence. You're going to lean on Marcus Murphy to take snaps when McCoy actually needs a break. Mm-hmm. Not when the game plan says so. So I'm almost curious if McCoy played better because Ivory wasn't there, because he knew he had to be the guy. He came in, he didn't have to be a playmaker, he had to be the guy. It's a different mindset, right? I mean, if you're going up there always swinging for a home run, you strike out a lot.
Yes.
If you go up there saying, listen, I just got to put one in play, you're a different hitter, right? So was McCoy's performance better today because Ivory wasn't there? Ivory's been the more effective back all season. You can't tell me otherwise, because...
Don't even say it was play calling.
No, I'm not going to give Daboll that much credit.
The fact that Barkley threw 35 passes today and McCoy only caught 1 of them, that's pretty remarkable.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's very interesting. Either Barkley knew where to go with the ball, or the Jets' defense is that bad, or... I mean,
or
he completed 15 and had 20 incompletion, so let's not just...
Yeah.
Let's not roll out a red, let's not start, dusting off a jacket for Canton for the guy. But the point being, he wasn't checking it down. He wasn't taking the easy road. He knew where to go with the ball, which is something we haven't seen from Buffalo quarterbacks.
You know what? I think there's times where there's useful incompletions, right? I mean, you throw the ball. If you're
Away.
a useful incompletion is when you throw the ball away or you throw the ball down the field, right? You have useful incompletions. Not every pass has to be complete. But as far as McCoy goes, you're right. He wasn't utilized in the pass game at all today.
And since he was, if you're saying your point is he was the heavy, he was in there for pass pro.
Yeah,
not Ivory.
Oh man, he got torched.
Oh,
he got blown up.
But did his job. He did it. He did his job majority of the day. Where
we're filming
the humanity.
Jeez, people around here are driving like the Bills lost.
Or
reckless
one. I mean, if they
abandon.
drank.
That's true.
That's an episode in itself. Do you drink more or less when the Bills win or lose?
Yes. You were just mentioning
he was
because
picking
we're
up
going to be the heavy.
Yeah.
He had to be in there for pass pro.
Yeah, usually Ivory. That's Ivory roll. It's an Ivory roll.
Yeah.
So he was picking up the pass block. I mean, he knows how to pass.
We talked about Murphy. Murphy's not great in pass pro yet.
No, not yet. But he doesn't have the time on task as you talked about earlier with the whole McDermott process.
Yep.
So I wonder if anyone asked McDermott after the win today about something, and he said, "I got to watch the tape," and no one cared.
I'm just really curious about the mindset of Shady and how different it was. There's just a lot of variables.
They didn't trade him. So the fact that he's wanted for the time being in Buffalo maybe lit a fire under him. That wasn't. You got to think he hasn't been utilized a lot this year, so he doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires this year. He's a guy who's been in the league for so long that he knows how to preserve his body. Never seen him take any hard shots today, which he never really does.
No.
He always has self-inflicted wounds. So, going on what you've seen this year and the past couple of years that he's been in Buffalo, how many more years realistically do you see him on this squad? 2?
I don't know, man. The Bills are going to get a nice high second-round pick.
I know.
So, I mean, they could go get their back. And backs make an immediate impact.
The learning curve isn't as big.
No, it's not. Now, the flare-out rate is big. So that's why, you see running backs after game 10, 11 start to be, less effective because they flame out. It's a career. It's a job now.
You know who did that? You know who knew that better than anybody? Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Talk about how him holding back Kamara for like 5 weeks last year.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yep. Same. That's precisely right. Precisely right. And that's what you got to do with young backs. It's just their bodies can't take it. Look at Fournette. Fournette and Kareem Hunt. Gangbusters the first 10 weeks.
Elliott.
After that, they fell off. Yeah, Elliott was the same way.
Every running back that you can name had that at the end of their rookie year because of the length of the,
But here's the problem that I see, right?
With Shady?
With Shady.
Okay.
And bringing in a running back next season, right? Okay. Shady knows he's the guy when Ivory's not there. Yeah. Right? He knows he's got to carry the load.
Yeah.
You draft a second-round running back, you put him on the squad. Is it the same mindset where he's looking in the rearview mirror? Because Shady's been looking in the rearview mirror the whole season, looking at Ivory's numbers, looking at his numbers, and going, "This isn't going well." He's a professional. He's not an idiot. No. He's going to play the comparative game, and he's always been the guy. But this year, Ivory has consistently outperformed him statistically, and you have to just imagine that 808.
I think it did.
And today was his day to pull away. The game against the Jets, that was his day to pull away, and he did, right? So if the Bills draft another running back in the second round, are we going to get the same level of performance that we get from Shady weeks 1 through 9?
Well, I don't know. What type of Shady do you see when he tries too hard?
That's what I'm talking about. That's 1 through 9.
Yeah.
That's weeks 1 through 9.
I don't know. I think he'd probably be of the mindset where he would want to go somewhere. Because they would try to work that guy in more and more and more, which would eat away with him.
Yeah.
So he would probably want to go to a contender at that point. Unless, if the Bills aren't. If the Bills are winning, it doesn't matter. He's going to shut up.
Yeah.
But if the Bills are not winning and they're 3-3 and he's splitting carries with a rookie, he's going to want out.
I fully expect the Bills to bring him back next year in the draft. Fully expect.
4th or 3rd?
2nd.
You think they're going to go high second? You think that if they go Bosa in the first pick, they're not going to address the tackle position
Nope.
in the second round?
I don't think they care. They drafted a tackle in the third round and start.
Oh, God. Fifth, isn't
Dawkins?
he? Oh, Dawkins. I'm sorry.
That's what I mean.
I was talking about Teller.
Oh, no. I don't think that bothers them.
Wow.
Look at who they signed. I don't think the line bothers them.
I don't think the wide receiver core bothered them either.
No, but they're going to have money to spend on the wide receiver group.
Yeah.
You know, so again, if they're getting production at guys they just signed as undrafted free agents, I think the performance of those three players, McKenzie, McLeod, Zay Jones is already there, and Foster. I think the performance of those four players will tell you the importance that they put on that position of the draft moving forward. But again, getting back to Shady, I think the mindset for Shady the weeks 1 through 9 was, let me break this game open, or I got to catch us up. And today it was, I just got to get 3 yards. Where's the whole go? See it go. Where's the call?
Seeing a lot more than that.
Yeah. The mindset, I think, was the sole difference for him today. I really do. I really, really feel like it was just all about the opportunity to have nobody on your back. Not saying that he and Ivory are battling off the field in any way.
No, they're totally different runners.
Yeah, they're very different runners, but just the approach from Shady just wasn't the same today. He was a different player today. That's what I mean. When I say he ran heavy, it's just gap, go. That's it.
Yeah,
it's gap, go.
He could have been, yeah.
And I don't know, maybe the play calling was different.
It looked different.
Yeah, well, absolutely it looked different. But, you know, were the Bills tipping their hand with when they wanted to run Shady versus when they wanted to run Ivory? When they were running Ivory, they weren't running toss plays to Ivory.
They threw them all off when they threw that deep pass. They threw the
Foster?
Jets defense. Yeah, they threw the Jets defense off, so they had to leave the box. Once you leave the box and you give 25 room, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah, but when you have Ivory in the game, with the way the play calling's been, you can go, okay, 8 gap, 7 gap, 6 gap, 5 gap, they're off the table. It's either going to be a pass or it's going to be, well, 5 or 6 gap. You're taking the toss plays away.
Yeah, they couldn't
So you don't have to worry,
because McCoy was in there all the time.
Right. So now you're hiding that. You're hiding when you're going inside versus outside.
Mm-hmm.
When Ivory was in there, it's either, you know it's pass protection or it's going to be a run inside. It's going to be an inside gap. They're not running a toss play. So I think that makes life a little bit easier for the offense when McCoy's just asked to do it all. He showed he can today.
He did.
Okay, I don't know if it's bad defense or not. It's a good point. I don't know.
But you got to realize too, if you have confidence against a team like the Jets, like he must have confidence against them. He knows he's going to run well against them. He just ends up doing it.
Another question is, does the Bills organization want him to do it again for another 6 weeks? I don't know.
I'll let the viewers decide. Answer that question.
Yeah.